6 to 31 August. It's where you want to be. Shop and get great savings from the one that gives you real value always. TM Pick n Pay. It's time for the news.
We're broadcasting live from our Pockets of Studios right here in Highlands, Harare. My name is Zain Jamu and welcome to the main news. And of course, it's always a lovely evening to you, Joyce.
Well, good evening to you, Zain, and thank you for joining us. My name is Joyce Mabika. Nopu Maungwa is on sign language.
And of course, later on, Asibugele Maposa will be joining us from our Montrose studios. But we kick off this bulletin with the headlines.
President Emmerson Mnangagwa emphasizes on public-private partnerships.
He was speaking at the Hills Luxury Golf Estate groundbreaking ceremony.
In other news, all is set for this year's Zimbabwe Agricultural Show, which starts next week, Monday.
In business, government expected to collect revenue estimated at over 103 billion ZiG as the 2025 budget agenda is outlined.
Our leading sports story tonight, ZIFA and SRC signed collaboration MOU that will usher in a new executive committee to take over from the Normalization Committee.
And now for the news in detail. President Emmerson Mnangagwa says public-private partnerships have become instrumental in the national development matrix and transformation of livelihoods.
He made the remarks at the Hills Luxury Golf Estate groundbreaking ceremony in Harare this Friday. Our first report from our chief correspondent, Ruben Barwe.
The groundbreaking ceremony at the Hills Luxury Golf Estate in Harare underscored the importance of public-private partnership between the City of Harare and West Properties. The project will see over 280 million United States dollars being invested. 862 residential units accommodating over 4,000 people will be built. Accompanied by the Vice President, General Retired Dr. Constantino Gouveia Chiwenga and several cabinet ministers, senior government officials, the President, Comrade Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, did the groundbreaking ceremony riding on an excavator and was shown around the pictorial wall which depicts the future of the Hills Luxury Golf Estate. He said he was happy to see the design of the housing development.
I applaud West Properties and all the stakeholders of this signature project for fully embracing green technologies and building certification-based practices. This complements government efforts towards building clean, planned, resilient, and sustainable cities, while our country attains the overall climate change mitigation and adaptation targets.
The Live, Work, Shop and Play mixed land use planning approach is setting the tone for growth of this country's sporting and tourism sectors.
I challenge the sport and tourism subsectors to take advantage of the envisioned world-class standards at the Hills Luxury Golf Estate, and they play their part towards attracting professional golfers, among other athletes, to play the tournaments here in Zimbabwe.
President Mnangagwa urged the city fathers to ramp up their pace in service delivery so as to keep the city clean, and the citizens should also do their part by stopping littering.
Together, let us ensure that our city shines again. We must see a shift in our individual and collective behavior. with regards to waste management, given the unprecedented transformation that now characterizes our beautiful city, Harare.
He congratulated West Properties, the City of Harare, and the Ministry of National Housing and Social Amenities for their collaboration that has seen marked achievements in the housing and living conditions of citizens. Ruben Barwas, ZBC News, Harare.
The Hills Luxury Golf Estate has the 4 hallmarks of Vision 2030, which envisages the continued growth of the country's property sector through the enabling investment climate created by the Second Republic.
The $300 million Hills Luxury Golf Estate will be the first of its kind in sub-Saharan Africa, with branded villas and hotels among a host of other modern facilities whose designers and architects are from Portugal, Spain and France. West Properties Chief Executive Officer Ken Sharp explains the scope of the project, saying it is set to become a top-notch tourist attraction in the country.
This is a $1 million home behind me. It was designed in Barcelona by Jean Boulouc, a famous architect that we engaged outside of the country to bring excellence into Zimbabwe. This is a type of home that you do not see today in Zimbabwe. Even in South Africa, there are very few homes that would be of this quality. You would have to look to Dubai, to the USA, to California, to other parts of the world to see such quality. And then moving down to more affordable, we have cluster homes, where we're starting at around $400,000, $500,000 for townhouses, beautifully designed by a Portuguese designer. He's here, he's an architect from Portugal, he came to design. Then going into the apartments, which are more affordable, we have studios maybe starting at $60,000 up to the penthouse and the apartment that's selling at $700,000. It's a whole home on top of the building. 4 bedrooms, duplex, with a swimming pool, an outdoor living area, all on top of the building.
Ratepayers will benefit immensely from the partnership where the city of Harare has a 30% stake in the project.
It's a partnership with the developer. Basically, all the land is owned or was owned by the city of Harare. There are benefits in terms of rates that will continue to be levied once we increase the rateable properties in this area, and of course the other downstream benefits of employment, housing.
National Housing and Social Amenities Minister Honorable J. Musoda noted that the project dovetails with government's National Housing Development Matrix enshrined in the National Development Strategy 1.
The ministry is engaging various players to ensure that there is traction in housing delivery. Such players include those within the construction technology space, the financiers, as well as the custodians of land. Such efforts are envisaged at ensuring that smart and functional human settlements are delivered to meet the aspirations of Vision 2030. The NDS-1 housing target of 1 million housing units by 2025 will be achieved through collective efforts from stakeholders and all parties involved in human settlements delivery.
The investment being made by the private sector in property and housing has accelerated under the Second Republic as the march towards Vision 2030 continues to take place across all sectors, including infrastructure, energy, agriculture, and human capital development. Owen Mandova, ZBC News, Harare.
The just ended 19th India-Africa Business Conclave has revealed a growing appetite among Indian investors to explore business opportunities in Zimbabwe. We get the details.
Delegation attending the 19th India-Africa Business Conclave had a packed 4-day schedule as numerous Indian investors flocked to express interest in exploring investment opportunities in the country's agriculture, infrastructure development and manufacturing sectors.
Our idea to meet the minister is to see how we can be again a partner to the growth of Zimbabwe agriculture and irrigation program, and we offered them how we can work together.
We were extremely excited about the discussion with His Excellency Mr. Vice President on his vision on how we can transform the agricultural value chains across Zimbabwe. We also discussed the farmer engagement program to increase the crop development, as well as the village industries program, which I was particularly very excited about. Apart from that, infrastructure development, building a special economic zone to promote industry, and also to develop the trade routes with Zimtrade along with Africa Trade and Distribution Company.
We called on His Excellency the Vice President to discuss with him what are the new possibilities in which India can work more closely with our very dear friend Zimbabwe.
We are currently contracted to construct the Afri-Exim Bank Africa Trade Center in the city of Harare. Also, we recently commissioned the Deka water pumping stations in the north, near Hwangi.
The Indian investors' enthusiasm for Zimbabwe is matched by the Zimbabwean government's eagerness to attract foreign investment.
One quick takeaway we had was the determination and willingness of the Indian government and business to come to Zimbabwe and do business with Zimbabwe. So we identified a number of operations that are ready to come and implement.
Vice President General retired Dr. Constantino Chiwenga, who led the Zimbabwean delegation to the conclave, welcomed the Indian investors' interest in Zimbabwe, saying the country is open for business.
From the two which we have attended previously, we regard this one as very successful. And the team which I had, which was well supported by our ambassador here, Ms. Stella Nkomo, did perfectly well. And you have seen in our team that we brought in Mutapa, we brought in Zida, we brought in the key ministries from higher and tertiary and from industry. They were all here. And we also brought in our business people. We had quite a team of more than 10 from different groupings. But what is more important is that the projects which looked like they had stalled, they have now been reopened.
Government efforts to create a business-friendly environment and implement investment-friendly policies are bearing fruit, with Zimbabwe now being considered one of the most attractive investment destinations in Africa. Under the leadership of President Emmerson Mnangagwa, the country has emerged as a prime destination for foreign investment, as evident from the eagerness of Indian companies to invest in the country at the 19th India-Africa Business Conclave. Abigail Tembo, ZBC News, New Delhi.
Vice President Kembo Mohadi has reiterated the government's commitment to bridging the gender gap in leadership, emphasizing the need for comprehensive support and empowerment of women in business and leadership.
Vice President Kembo Mohadi, who was representing President Emmerson Mnangagwa at the High-Level Women in Leadership Summit, which ended in Harare this Friday, reaffirmed the government's commitment to empowering women in business, pledging to address barriers which hinder the progress of women-owned enterprises. He also revealed government will explore modalities for gender equality in political parties' participation and the upholding of the principle of gender equality for full national participation.
Government will look into the possible modalities that provide gender equality participation at political party level. Political party level, at every party has got to adhere. The Second Republic will continue to take steps to support women.
As the summit concluded, participants departed energized, describing the gathering as fruitful and empowering.
What was important was the meeting of minds of women from diverse backgrounds, and the ability of these women to come together and forge something and come out with concrete ideas of how to create an enabling environment to increase women in leadership.
The key takeaway is the need for creation of law, in particular the gender equality law across sectors, so that we can ensure that women get into leadership positions all across the different sectors.
The Second Republic has instituted various strategies to empower women, including the establishment of the Zimbabwe Women's Microfinance Bank to enable women to access funding for their business enterprises.
Meanwhile, Vice President Comrade Kembo Mohadi has arrived in Malawi, where he is expected to join congregants of the Church of Central Africa Presbyterian from Southern Africa for their centenary celebrations this Sunday.
Vice President Comrade Kembo Mohadi, who is representing President Emmerson Mnangagwa at the centenary celebrations slated for Sivu Stadium in Lilongwe, was welcomed by Malawi Minister of Lands Honorable Druce Gumba at the Kamuzu International Airport. Upon arrival, Comrade Mohadi briefed journalists about his visit.
We're here to just lend support to the President. We invited His Excellency Dr. Eddie Mnangagwa to come here, but due to other commitments, he had to assign me to come here and attend to the function that would be held by the President here in Malawi. But our relations have always been excellent between the two countries. We haven't had any issues.
Vice President Mohadi reiterated the key role of the church in ensuring peace, unity, and development.
The church and the state complement each other. We look after the welfare of you people, of the populace that we lead, and they also look after the spiritual welfare of our people. So we complement each other.
Comrade Mohadi went on to meet Zimbabwean embassy officials, applauding them for their dedication to duty. The centenary celebrations set for Sunday are expected to be attended by host President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera, Zambian President Hakainde Hichilema, Church of the Central Africa Presbyterian leaders and congregants. Zimbabwe and Malawi enjoy cordial relations, sharing similar culture and history, hence the existence of Malawian citizens in Zimbabwe and Zimbabwean citizens in Malawi. Mace Martina, ZBC News, Lilongwe.
National preparations for the summer cropping season have gathered momentum amid a target to plant 1.8 million hectares of maize to ensure food self-sufficiency.
Government is leaving no stone unturned in the forthcoming summer cropping season to guarantee food self-sufficiency with adequate rainfall expected. Speaking at a Wheatfield Day held at Avoka Farm in Bindura this Thursday, Agriculture and Rural Development Advisory Services Chief Director Mr. Leonard Mnamati said the season will have 4 main crop production programs comprising the Presidential Inputs of Pfumvudza Intwasa Scheme, the National Enhanced Agriculture Productivity Scheme, the ADA program, and Crops Contractors Association, who will privately contract growers.
The contractors have started contracting, and we are urging farmers to get in touch with them and get contracted. For the Pfumvudza program, we have already seen the fertilizers, basal dressing fertilizer, already moving to the various GMB depots, and very soon we will start distribution. So farmers should start to prepare their Pfumvudza plots.
Meanwhile, government has commended farmers in Bindura for undertaking successful joint ventures which contributed to the 121,000 hectares of wheat planted nationwide.
This season takashandisa variety yedu inonzi SC Select. Nimawandro ayakaita, I think we are expecting about 6 to 7 tons per hectare.
Mashuturo kutanga tisinganyatso kugona kurima, tanga tisina expertise yekurima chaiyo. Asina kuona zvichiitika on the ground na partner wedu.
With the wheat harvesting season drawing close, government is targeting preservation of wheat straw for stock feed production, and 1,035 most affected wards have been identified to receive the supplementary feed. Tapiwa Machemedze, ZBC News, Bindura.
Government has availed over 200 million United States dollars, and the Gwaishangani Lake project, whose magnitude is set to transform lives in the southern part of the country.
The massive project will have a positive bearing on millions of livelihoods, with a green belt set to be established around the water source. Now standing at 39 meters, the dam wall is set to receive a further 44 million United States dollars from Treasury that will go towards the ultimate goal of water retention by the 2025-26 season. There is clarity on the Vision 2030 perspective, which is to reap maximum benefits for citizens.
We've got the power generation, which is just at your background. We've got the irrigation, we've got the water supply. We will have fisheries once the dam begins to impound water. And as you can see on this, the grand picture of the project, Where we are standing, we are already seeing two sub-components of the project, and where we are going to be seeing the power, the pump station that is going to evacuate water from the Gwaishangani Lake to Bulawayo. There are 5 other pump stations that were already constructing during the implementation of this project. Quite a lot is happening, although we are behind with the project. We had hoped to start impounding water this 2024-2025 season. Certainly from the explanation by the engineers, that will not be possible. We require another 44 million US to be able to get to a stage where we can begin to close the gates, and that will be next year. So now the target has shifted again, unfortunately, but Treasury has promised more resources, which is why I'm here to discuss with the team to see how we can redraw the timelines.
Solving Bulawayo's perennial water woes, creating an agriculture green belt through irrigation, and enabling other downstream industries like tourism are some of the envisaged benefits of the project as the country journeys towards an upper middle income society by 2030. Mhlomo Ncube, ZBC News, Hwange.
The stage is set for the 114th edition of the Zimbabwe Agricultural Show, which starts on Monday, with 530 exhibitors having already registered to showcase their products.
At least 72,000 square meters of space have so far been taken up out of the 78,000 square meters available for the week-long Zimbabwe Agricultural Show, which runs from the 26th to the 31st of this month. Giving an update on preparatory works, Zimbabwe Agricultural Society ZANSA Chief Executive Officer Dr. Andrew Matibiri said 12 foreign exhibitors from countries such as China and Brazil have also registered for participation this year.
The progress that's been made is fantastic. The official opening is on Tuesday, but the show starts on Monday, the 26th of August. So far we have 12 participants from outside the country who will be participating in the show from various countries from around the globe, Brazil, Russia, China, and so on.
Meanwhile, various unique activities and exhibitions have been lined up for this year's extravaganza, with the annual agricultural conference slated for Wednesday next week.
Apart from the usual entertainments and so on and displays, we are sort of focusing on livestock. Our livestock sector or section has been revamped, and there will be many different types of breeds of cattle, of poultry, goats and sheep for people to look at. And of course there will be the usual fantastic array of artists and entertainers entertaining people in the arena. Our headline or main conference is the annual agricultural conference, which will be held on Wednesday.
The 114th edition of the Zimbabwe Agricultural Show will run under the theme Cultivating Prosperity, Growing Business, Innovating for Change, Nurturing Our Future. John Nandara, ZBC News, Harare.
Local authorities have been implored to put aside political differences and unite in pursuit of national development, prioritizing the country's progress over partisan interests.
Government is on a drive to equip local authorities' leadership with the necessary skills and knowledge to drive development and propel the country towards Vision 2030. It is with this in mind that the government convened a comprehensive training program under the Herbert Chitepo School of Ideology, bringing together mayors, chairpersons, councillors and staff from all 92 local authorities across the country. Participants applauded the initiative as an eye-opener, noting the need to prioritize citizens' needs.
We must remember that we are in government together, local government and central government, and we come from different parties. And part of the process is to understand and develop a national consensus on policy formulation.
We've actually learned that even as the young people of Zimbabwe, we should be able to guard the national interest.
We must learn to tolerate each other and accept each other as we are, but put our country first, and even in terms of development.
From this workshop, I've learned that there is more to it. I need to work for my country.
Guest of honor at the close of a 3-day training program in Harare this Friday, Local Government and Public Works Minister Honorable Daniel Garwe implored the local authorities' leadership to transcend political divisions and converge on a shared vision to propel national development.
We must be focused, we must be united towards rebuilding our country to the levels that we want to take it up to. The president has set a vision 2030, of becoming an upper middle income economy by that year. It does not happen as a way of a miracle. We have to work. So local authorities play a very critical role in ensuring that we realize that vision.
The engagement comes at a time when President Emmerson Mnangagwa appointed a commission of inquiry into the governance of Harare City Council amid widespread financial mismanagement and governance failures, with a view to ensure affairs of the capital city are properly managed. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
Do remember to visit our website for these and more stories in detail. Our website is www.zbcnews.co.zw.
Or you could get in touch with us on our social media handles, that is at ZBC News Online.
Still to come in this bulletin. In business news, a government expected to collect revenue estimated at over 103 billion ZiG as the 2025 budget agenda is outlined.
And on sport, Ziffa and SRC signed collaboration MOU that will usher in a new executive committee to take over from the normalization committee. The main news takes a breather. We'll be back with you shortly.
Say hello to seamless transactions and effortless convenience with the new Inbucks Swipe Card. Swipe, tap, pay and go with confidence anywhere in Zimbabwe. Sign up for your Inbucks Swipe Card at any Inbucks booth nationwide today. Have you registered for Inbucks yet? If not, dial *569# or download the Inbucks app and redefine the way you bank. Terms and conditions apply.
This is the currency we've been waiting for. A currency that's not just paper and coins, but a symbol of Zimbabwe's rich resources and stability. That's Zimbabwe Gold. This is ZiG. Let's dive into what makes ZiG not just a new currency, but a new beginning for Zimbabwe's economy. ZiG is born out of a blend of traditional and innovative financial wisdom, anchored in gold and precious metals, along with foreign currency reserves. This backing isn't just for show. It's a promise of stability and trust, ensuring that ZiG's value is as solid as the gold it's pegged to. From the bustling markets of Harare to the serene landscapes of rural Zimbabwe, ZiG is set to become the medium of exchange that's both reliable and accessible, with denominations ranging from ZiG 200 to ZiG 1 and even handy coins. It caters to every transaction, big or small. Transitioning to ZiG is a breeze. It's all about inclusivity, ensuring no one is left behind in Zimbabwe's financial renaissance. ZiG doesn't walk alone. It co-circulates with other foreign currencies under Zimbabwe's multi-currency system, enriching our financial landscape. It's a legal tender that not only simplifies transactions, but also restores confidence in our economy, promising a future where stability and growth go hand in hand. So why ZiG? Because it's more than just money. It's a symbol of Zimbabwe's resilience, a step towards an economy where stability is the norm, and every Zimbabwean can look forward to a prosperous future. Welcome to the era of Zimbabwe Gold, where our currency is our pride.
season. We are ready to do it all again. Phil Foden is having the season of his life. Brilliant! Just brilliant! That is quite something!
Upgrade to DSTV Compact for $30 a month to get all the football action you want. Today's life is action-packed, hectic, and full of opportunity. You're off to the next big meeting, returning home from an important business trip, or you step out of your bubble to find your next adventure. Whatever your journey, we have a solution. A car for every occasion, be it leisure or business. At Impala Car Rental, for over 15 years, we've been catering for all Zimbabweans from all walks of life, using technology to make travel smarter and more affordable. Where will your road take you? Hit the road whenever, wherever. Impala Car Rental, celebrating 15 years of service excellence.
So, this is where our story began. It was love at first sight. And from the moment we met, there's one thing that's always been there for us. One constant in this crazy, beautiful life. Pizza Inn. It's been there for our first heartbreaks and even those shouldn't have had that second slice moments. But beyond the food, it's about the shared experiences, the connections forged over a cheesy slice. We've been high, we've been low, all while celebrating that wonderful thing called togetherness. And when that Pizza Inn box hits the table, it's all love for each other and for the best pizza in the whole wide world. We've been doing it together through the good times and the bad for the past 30 years. Pizza Inn must be the pizza.
The Minister of Veterans of the Liberation Struggle Affairs, Honorable Senator Monica Mavunga, the Deputy Minister, Honorable Senator Hadman Moyo, the Chief Director, Major General Retired Evaristo Ziwema, the Veterans of the Liberation Struggle Board, Heroes Dependence Assistance Board, and the entire management and staff extend heartfelt congratulations to you, Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Comrade Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, on your esteemed assumption of the chairmanship of the Southern African Development Community SADC during the 44th Ordinary Summit of Heads of State and Government. Your ascendancy to this pivotal role under the theme Promoting Innovation to Unlock Opportunities for Sustained Economic Growth and Development towards an Industrialized SADC is testament to your visionary leadership and unwavering dedication to the progress and prosperity of our region. We are confident that your chairmanship will herald a new era of innovation, inclusive economic growth, and industrial development, fostering unity and collaboration among SADC member states as we share common values on nationalism and anti-colonial struggles. Your commitment to the recognition of heroes and heroines of liberation movements in the region has always been an inspiration. We are proud to stand with you as you lead SADC towards a brighter future, embodying the values of resilience, determination, and unity that has defined your leadership. May your tenure as SADC chairperson be marked by groundbreaking achievements and lasting contributions to the socio-economic advancement of our region. Congratulations, Makorokoto Amhlope.
The Registrar General, Mr. H.T. Machiri, the Deputy Registrars General, Management and Staff warmly congratulate His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Comrade Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, on your assumption of the Southern African Development Community SADC chairpersonship. This assumption is a testament of your exceptional vision, commitment to regional integration and economic development. We are confident in your ability to propel regional development, fostering unity and prosperity among SADC member states. The Civil Registry Department pledges to support your vision through modernization of vital civil registration systems and enhancing easy access of registration documents to the Zimbabwean citizenry. Once again, Makorokoto Amhlope, Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Comrade Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa. The Civil Registry Department, caring for vital civil registration events and travel documents.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. As the country celebrates Heroes Month in honor of illustrious sons and daughters who made the ultimate sacrifice to bring about the country's independence, peace and tranquility that exists today, we remember the life of Comrade James Chikerema, a fiery politician from Mashonaland West Province. Let's get the details.
About 5 kilometers south of Kutama Business Center in Zwimba district is Nazareth Farm, the homestead of the late national hero, Comrade James Robert Dambaza Chikerema. The farm is close to the homestead of yet another national hero, the late former president, Comrade Robert Mugabe, with the two having grown up together. Affectionately known as Comrade Chiki, Comrade Chikerema was born at Kutama Mission on the 2nd of April in 1925 and obtained his early education at the same institution and at Chishawasha before proceeding to South Africa for his secondary education in 1943. While in secondary, he joined the Communist Party where he recruited students to advance radicalism before joining the African National Congress in 1944 where he rose through the ranks to become the chairperson of a branch. He then enrolled at the University of Cape Town for his tertiary studies but was dismissed and deported back home for organizing a students' protest against the establishment of the Federation of Rhodesia and Nyasaland that brought together pre-independent Malawi, Zambia and Zimbabwe in 1953. Fast forward to 1956, Comrade Chikerema formed the Southern Rhodesian African National Youth League, which in effect became the first step in the creation of a full-scale nationalist movement in the then Southern Rhodesia. On September 12, 1957, a new African National Congress, which was later renamed Zimbabwe African People's Union, ZAPU, was formed in Harare with the late Dr. Joshua Nkomo as president and the late national hero being its first vice president. The political outfit performed sabotage activities in Salisbury, organized nationwide protests, which contributed immensely to the rise of nationalism in the country. In 1964, Comrade Chikerema left the country for Russia and China, where he received military training. Upon his return, Dr. Nkomo had been arrested and he became the party's acting president, organizing ZAP's first armed inclusion into Zimbabwe together with comrades Nyandoro, Dumiso Dabengwa, Jason Moyo and George Sulindika. In 1971, he formed Front of the Liberation of Zimbabwe, Florizi, after failed attempts to unite ZAPU and ZANU. During the liberation struggle, Comrade Chikerema survived several assassination attempts from the Rhodesian forces.
Ndichizoya paimba ipa history andinoziva pamusoro pemba iyi inonzi ndo yaigara vanhu vakanga vakaiswa security munguva yehondo iyi saka ndakambonzwa history yekuti pakambosvikwa nemagandango vavairwisana nawo panguva idzodzo vanhu vakasvika vachitsvaga vachinzi vaitsvaga Chikerema. Saka pakasvika pane munin'ina wavo anonzi Lazarus ndiye akanga ari mumba patime yavaidya nevanhu vanga varimo, saka vanhu vanga varimo vanga vari armed ndobva vatanga kuridzirana futi vari mukati vachiridza vari kunzi vari mukati.
In 1979, Comrade Chikerema was part of the Lancaster House talks as a representative of the Zimbabwe Democratic Party. His party participated in the 1980 elections that ushered in independence, and after failing to win a single seat, he quit politics. Following his death, he was awarded a state-assisted funeral by the First Republic, and 16 years later, in 2022, President Emmerson Mnangagwa posthumously conferred the late with a national hero status in a development welcomed by his family. Comrade Chikerema died of cancer in the United States on the 22nd of March in 2006 and was buried at Kutama Mission Cemetery, where his father Joseph and other relatives are interred. Tamuka Charakupa, ZBC News, Zwimba.
We will forever cherish and honor the heroes who fought for the independence we enjoy today. We're now crossing over to our Montrose studios in Bulawayo, and joining us from that end is Subukele Maposa, who will give us the next stretch of the bulletin. It's a very good evening to you. It's over to you.
Thank you very much, Joyce. Good evening, Zimbabwe, and happy Friday. Preparations for the ZANU-PF annual National People's Conference slated for Bulawayo in October have gathered pace.
The conference will run from the 22nd to the 26th of October in Bulawayo, with the host province optimistic of a successful event. The ruling party Secretary General, Dr. Obet Mpofu, outlined the extensive preparations underway for the conference on the sidelines of the organizing committee meeting held at the Zimbabwe International Exhibition Center this Friday.
The MENA, the Bulawayo community, the Bulawayo leadership has handled this matter, shows total commitment to the success of the conference. And I have no doubt that, from what we've heard, the reports that we are getting, and the determination, commitment by the leadership, that this will be one of the best conferences that we have held. Preparations are not only at advanced stage, but they are actually almost complete.
The 21st National People's Conference will be presided over by the ZANU-PF First Secretary and President, Comrade Emmerson Mnangagwa. The conference will be held under the theme Industrialize and Modernize towards the attainment of Vision 2030, with over 3,000 delegates expected to converge at the Zimbabwe International Exhibition Center in Bulawayo. Yolanda Moore, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
War veterans have applauded the Second Republic for affording them an opportunity to actively participate in the national development agenda through various programs.
The War Veterans League National Executive Council met at the party headquarters in Harare this Friday to deliberate on the constituency's welfare issues and their active involvement in the national development matrix. The leadership noted that progress is being made with regards to welfare issues through the War Veterans Family Wealth Trust that has since been approved.
Before this national executive, we had a national assembly where we were addressed by the president and approved one of the most important and I think economic fundamental that will assist the war veterans to come back to participate in the economy of this country. We have proposed and was approved by the president a program that will ensure that war veterans will have access to finances.
The war veterans rallied behind President Emmerson Mnangagwa's assumption of the SADC chairmanship.
This is our fourth national executive meeting, and we are excited that we are meeting shortly after our commander, let me refer to the president as our commander of the liberation struggle, assumed the regional top post as SADC chairman. We are excited. This is an experience that he earlier on found when he commanded the liberation struggle, that we united as a force to liberate Southern Africa. And so we were united, we were together in the trenches with all those forces that liberated Southern Africa.
Among issues deliberated on include exhumation and repatriation of war veterans whose remains are buried outside the country, war veterans positioning in the party's restructuring exercise, as well as mapping collaborations with like-minded regional parties. Wellington Makonese, ZBC News, Harare.
The presidential borehole sinking program continues to bring hope and optimism for many villages that have faced water challenges coupled with adverse effects of climate change.
Kunokuti vanhu vari mudambudziko remvura. Taitorara pachibhorani. Ukaenda nhasi makuseni, waizocherawo kana mangwana kumanheru. Taitogona kana kutorwa pabhore ipapo zvekuti kana usinawo simba, unogona kungotoita kana 3 days usina kuwana mvura. Kana une simba rako rekurwawo kuti nini masimba wegona kutocherawo mvura zuva iroro, asi pakuchera kwacho mvura taikwanisa kuwana mabhaketsi maviri chete pamunhu.
Fighting for water may sound absurd to some, but that was the reality for villagers in Kairuza Rushinga district. As she looks back on the struggles they endured as a result of their water crisis, Mrs. Matsika is more than grateful for the presidential borehole sinking program being implemented across the country.
Vava vasingagari nekuda kwedambudziko remvura. Zvokuti kana paeducation vana vedu vanga vakasaririra. Asi ezvinowo zvivarairidzi zvaananiwo nokuti vakwanisa kuwana mvura nenguva. Nevana vacho vechikoro vakwanisa kuwana mvura nenguva. Zvokuti kana vana vechikoro vakaendawo kuchikoro, zvakutovaraidzawo pane zvazva zviri kumashure uko.
For the other villagers, not only has the borehole eased the burden of looking for the precious liquid, but has also given them a lifeline in agriculture.
Mvura itombonetsa paarea inoi. Asi patakazoisirwawo chibhorani aiwa tanga taraiti.
Kuchera takuitawo easy, hatichasvika tigaririra, zvangwa zvoti kungosvika nguva diki toita sei? Tochera mvura yedu todzokera kumba.
The Second Republic, led by President Emmerson Mnangagwa, is pushing for the attainment of an upper middle income society by 2030, hence the drive to ensure no one and no place is left behind in developmental programs. As the sun sets in the Kairuza community, so is the day ending with hope for a better tomorrow. Memory Chamisa, ZBC News, Rushinga.
Harnessing artificial intelligence in the National Development Matrix took center stage during the Midlands Show Society Business Conference held in Gweru this Friday.
Government is in the process of crafting an artificial intelligence AI policy, taking into consideration issues of security involved in technologically advanced phenomenon.
Issue of cybersecurity today is something that we cannot end the day without making mention of. And the breadth and length of security is very, very, very pivoted on ICT today.
Stakeholders weighed in, saying different departments have begun to enjoy some spin-off benefits from information technologies, while strides are being made to establish the necessary infrastructure to embrace AI.
Use of lands and agriculture, we're already using drones to spray against quillia beds. It can also be used, the drones can also be used for spraying your crops in terms of disease control and pest management.
For AI to make sense for all of us, you must have the right data. Otherwise, it's like putting garbage in, garbage out. So the data has got to be cleaned. And I'm happy that a lot of work is being done by the telecom operators in gathering that information.
The Midlands province is anticipating to tap in on opportunities presented by AI to increase its provincial gross domestic product GDP.
Since the inception of the Second Republic, under the visionary leadership of the President, bold and strategic policy decisions were made to open up the economy to both foreign and domestic investments. Easy of doing business, corporate governance, public sector reforms, engagement and re-engagement, among other strategies, have been rigorously pursued to create an attractive investment climate towards job creation, technology transfer, and the GDP growth.
AI is taking the world by storm, with all sectors of the economy expected to use the technology to advance their business enterprises. Tafaraj Kumira, ZBC News, Gweru.
And that'll be all from the Montrose News Desk. I am Sibigela Maposa, now handing you over to Zain and Joyce for the rest of the bulletin. Good evening.
Thank you very much. That's Wikele. They're coming through from our Montrose studios in Bulawayo, and also many thanks to our crew from Montrose. We continue from Pockets Hill. A number of convicts were jailed across the country this week, with one of the cases being that of a truck driver who was handed a 4-year prison term after causing an accident which claimed 9 lives in Rua.
The truck driver, Derek John Chitope, was arraigned before Airport Magistrate Tafazwa Meeting. He will, however, serve an effective 2-year jail term. Chitope was also prohibited from driving heavy vehicles for life. In another matter, Terence Maveneke, a commuter omnibus conductor who stole a phone at the tragic Seke Road accident that occurred last week, was given a 1-year imprisonment term for theft. Maveneke, who offered help to injured people at the accident scene, stole one of the deceased's mobile phone. Maveneke appeared before Airport Magistrate Esther Mtezo, who sentenced him to 12 months imprisonment. 5 months were suspended on condition that he does not commit a similar offense, with 7 months being effective. In Mutare, a man from Odzi was slapped with a 9-year jail term for attempted murder. Emmanuel Murimba, who heavily assaulted the complainant, whom he accused of leaving his cattle to graze in his field, will, however, serve an effective 8-year jail term after a year of his initial sentence was suspended on condition of good behavior. Fungai Jachi, ZBC News, Harare.
Government says it is strengthening focus on value addition and beneficiation of the country's minerals to align mining sector growth with the SADC industrialization agenda.
The SADC industrialization agenda has provided direction for member states to harness their natural resource base to stimulate economic growth and increase export revenue. In line with this mandate, the Ministry of Mines and Mining Development is implementing a raft of measures to expand the current drive to value add on gold, diamond, and lithium.
For example, we have diamonds in Manikal and in Shiadzwa. Let cutting and polishing of diamonds be in Manicaland, where we find the core. Let all hydrocarbon-related industries be in Hwange. This will bring centers of excellence in those regions. This will also promote employment for the local communities. Where we are finding gold, let gold beneficiation industry be there. Let jewelry industry be there.
With President Emmerson Mnangagwa having assumed the SADC chairmanship and the ongoing industrialization drive, there is renewed optimism for enhanced prospects for the local mining sector.
This is going to unlock more opportunities to our country in terms of funding, skills and knowledge transfer, collaboration, a memorandum of understanding, joint ventures in the mining sector.
This position is building on the SADC industrialization strategy and roadmap developed in 2015, which supports exporting finished products to improve revenues, create employment, and open the region to enhanced investment. Stella Marere, ZBC News, Harare.
The main news takes a break. When we return, we give you business news.
Zimbabwe Open University has your academic ambitions within reach with 10 regional campuses across Zimbabwe and a virtual campus for international students. ZOE is your university of choice in open and distance e-learning. With 5 O-level passes, you can enroll with ZOE this August intake through our 7 faculties that include agriculture, applied social science, arts, culture and heritage studies, commerce, education, science, and technology. For more information, visit our website www.zoe.ac.zw and apply now. You can call ZOE on 0242 780 246 07 or 770 743 or 796 464 or 795 990. Zimbabwe Open University. Empowerment through open and distance e-learning.
Say hello to seamless transactions and effortless convenience with the new Inbucks Swipe Card. Swipe, tap, pay and go with confidence anywhere in Zimbabwe. Sign up for your Inbucks Swipe Card at any Inbucks booth nationwide today. Have you registered for Inbucks yet? If not, dial *569# or download the Inbucks app and redefine the way you bank. Terms and conditions apply.
Section 154 of the Constitution stipulates that the Clerk of Parliament and other officers of Parliament are appointed on terms of service approved from time to time by the Committee on Standing Rules and Orders (CSRO) and are public officers, distinct from the public service. These appointments are on an open performance-based contract, subject to the provisions of the Officers of Parliament Terms of Service Regulations, Statutory Instrument 24 of 2018, as amended from time to time. Applications are therefore invited from suitably qualified and experienced Zimbabwean citizens below 50 years of age with a clean security, disciplinary and criminal record to fill the following vacant position: Deputy Clerk, Grade, Chief Director level, F2 equivalent, Department, House and Procedural Services, Location, New Parliament Building, Mount Hampden. Reports to the Clerk of Parliament.
For more information, visit the Parliament website on www.paulzim.gov.zw.
So, this is where our story began. It was love at first sight. And from the moment we met, there's one thing that's always been there for us. One constant in this crazy, beautiful life. Pizza Inn. It's been there for our first heartbreaks and even those shouldn't have had that second slice moments. But beyond the food, it's about the shared experiences, the connections forged over a cheesy slice. We've been high, we've been low, all while celebrating that wonderful thing called togetherness. And when that Pizza Inn box hits the table, it's all love for each other and for the best pizza in the whole wide world. We've been doing it together through the good times and the bad for the past 30 years. Pizza Inn must be the pizza.
The Chief Director of Immigration, Ms. Respect Gono, management and staff wish to congratulate His Excellency, the President Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, on his assumption of chairmanship of the Southern African Development Community, SADC. The chairmanship represents a moment of pride for Zimbabwe. The department has no doubt that His Excellency's stewardship of the regional bloc will help in mainstreaming migration governance into the regional development agenda. Congratulations, Makorokoto Amhlope.
Welcome back from the break. Zimbabwe's 2025 economic outlook is pinning hopes for growth on agriculture, exchange rate stability, and favorable global commodity prices. Let's get the details.
Information contained in the 2025 budget strategy paper shows proposed interventions by Treasury to support the economy after enduring challenges due to the effects of the El Nino-induced drought. With the economy now expected to record a 2% growth from the initial forecast of 3.5%, Treasury is expecting a rebound next year at 6.5%. Recovery in agriculture, price and exchange rate stability, favorable global commodity prices, and stable power supplies on account of stable electricity generation are factors attributed by Treasury to spur the anticipated economic growth. Government is expecting to collect revenues estimated at over 103 billion Zimbabwe gold, while spending is projected at more than 101 billion Zimbabwe gold. Revenue mobilization strategies for next year include tapping domestic resources and promoting the use of the Zimbabwe gold on tax payments. Government intends to use most of the incomes towards capital projects, development of social facilities, and investments in drought-proof agriculture, among others. According to the strategy paper, Zimbabwe's key focus for 2025 also includes fiscal consolidation, currency and exchange rate reforms, structural reforms, engagement and re-engagement, infrastructural development, investment promotion, and support for productive sectors. According to the African Development Bank's 2024 African Economic Outlook, growth in Southern Africa is projected to pick up from an estimated 1.6% in 2023 to 2.2% in 2024 and firming up to 2.7% next year. Stanley James, ZBC News, Harare.
The main news takes a break. Lawrence Trusida will give us sport when we return.
The Minister of Finance, Economic Development and Investment Promotion, Honorable Professor Mthuli Ncube, Deputy Minister, Honorable Advocate Kudakwashe D. Mnangagwa, Permanent Secretary George T. Gomatanga, Chief Directors, and Ministry staff would like to extend warm congratulations to His Excellency the President, Dr. Emmerson Dabutso Mnangagwa, on his appointment as the Southern African Development Community SADC Chairperson. Your Excellency, this esteemed position is testament to your exceptional leadership and dedication to regional integration. As our President assumes this critical role, we acknowledge your commitment to fostering economic growth, peace and stability in the SADC region. Your visionary leadership will undoubtedly make a significant impact on the lives of the people in the region. Congratulations. Makorokoto Amhlope.
The Midlands Show is here, 22 to 25 August 2024. Usasare, fun and games for kids, para drops and helicopter displays. Saturday, live performance from Killer T, the chairman. And on Sunday, Mr. and Miss Midlands Show beauty pageant. Announced powered by Mahogany Crew. Supported by Travelers Band, Sam Kokos, Kidoj Kandamina, Defeater, Macman, Legioni, Henry Talent Boy. And to wrap up the show, on Sunday, fireworks. Exhibition stands still available for booking. Contact us on 054 222 3230 or 054 222 3998. Sales 0773 466 554 0713 219 519. Midlands Show, strategic innovation for economic growth.
So, this is where our story began. It was love at first sight. And from the moment we met, there's one thing that's always been there for us. One constant in this crazy, beautiful life. Peter Inn. It's been there for our first heartbreaks and even those shouldn't have had that second slice moments. But beyond the food, it's about the shared experiences, the connections forged over a cheesy slice. We've been high, we've been low, all while celebrating that wonderful thing called togetherness. And when that Pizza Inn box hits the table, it's all love for each other and for the best pizza in the whole wide world. We've been doing it together through the good times and the bad for the past 30 years. Pizza Inn must be the pizza.
Enjoy real value and real savings with the TM Pick and Pay Weekend Winners. Save up by getting your groceries and so much more in store today. TM Pick and Pay. Real value always.
Want to elevate your entertainment? Then add Showmax to your DSTV subscription at no extra cost. Showmax is not a TV channel. It's an on-demand video streaming service on Showmax.com. To add Showmax to your DSTV subscription, simply use the My DSTV app. Select Add Showmax. The app screen will confirm that you qualify for Showmax at no extra cost as a DSTV Premium subscriber. Now you can enjoy exclusive shows and movies. Add Showmax to elevate your entertainment.
Good evening and thank you so much for joining us on Sports News on a Friday. My name is Lawrence Trusida. We start off with news coming through from football, where the Zimbabwe Football Association ZIFA elections roadmap is getting clearer after the local football mother body and the Sport and Recreation Commission signed a memorandum of understanding this Friday.
The agreement is another step towards the holding of the ZIFA elections, which will usher in a new executive committee to take over from the Normalization Committee that has been in office since June last year. The MOU was one of the conditions from FIFA for the lifting of Zimbabwe's suspension from international football. The Sport and Recreation Commission, SRC, outlined the nature of the agreement.
Most important were governance issues relating to the administration of football in this country. It addresses issues of sexual harassment. From the NC perspective, their big issue was funding, money. And you'll find that the MOU talks about that.
The MOU was penned in consultation with World Football Governing Body FIFA and will conform to its statutes, the ZIFA statutes, and more importantly, the Constitution of Zimbabwe. The ZIFA Normalization Committee indicated that the signing of the MOU is another step towards holding of elections.
The establishment of the Normalization Committee by FIFA and the subsequent lifting of Zimbabwe's suspension from international football were pivotal steps in this journey. We will continue to work diligently to align our statutes and electoral code with FIFA's requirements, paving the way for a new democratically elected ZIFA board.
The two parties agreed to have at least 2 annual meetings, and ZIFA agreed to share its annual report with SRC once adopted by Congress. ZIFA also will provide its activity report once every 6 months. Meanwhile, the Zimbabwe Football Association will hold an extraordinary general meeting this Saturday, with stakeholders expected to deliberate on the new constitution, among other issues.
Moving on, Kasolaga Premier Soccer League log leaders FC Platinum are not reading much into Bigita Minerals' inconsistency when the two teams clash at Sakuva Stadium on Sunday.
Sakuva Stadium will be the stage for the clash between two teams with different league ambitions, where relegation threatened side Bigita Minerals will be eager to stay afloat in the prestigious league when they host title aspirants FC Platinum. FC Platinum, who are working with a spring in their step, are leaving no stone unturned in their quest to lift their 50th title. Knowing the dangers Bigita Minerals pose when playing at home, FC Platinum coach Norman Mapeza is approaching the game with caution.
We know the challenges we're going to face on Sunday. But like I always say, for us what is important now is to just take the game as it comes. We don't have to put ourselves under pressure. There's 11 games to go, there's 33 points at stake. So we just need to take it game as it comes.
On Saturday, struggling side Arena Movers welcome ZPC Kariba at Luveve Stadium. Erenda's lock ones with Greenfield at Rufaro, while title aspirant Simba Bora target Bulawayo Chiefs Cup at Wazanai Stadium. On Sunday, action continues with a Bulawayo derby pitting Chicken Inn and Highlanders taking center stage at Babafield Stadium, while Chegutu Pirates welcome Yada FC at Baobab. An action-packed match pitting Capes United and Manica Diamonds is expected to conclude the day. Makepe, who have been blowing hot and cold this season, will be eager to change their fortunes and finish the league campaign strongly. Karajushe, ZPC News, Shishawane.
Staying with football, the newly rebranded Hatia Women Premier Soccer League resumes this weekend after a 2-week break. Mchokozi Sidua gives us more.
The Women Premier Soccer League is a new title sponsor, and beginning the second half of the season, they will be known as the Heart Women Soccer League. Action kick off this weekend with log leaders Black Rhinos Queens being involved in a tricky battle with Black Mambas at the Heart Stadium. Second place, the Chapunge of what appears to be an easy task in their home clash against struggling Zetarapi Harare at Manyame. Troubled MSU Queens host equally struggling Hope Academy as Conduit Soccer Academy face Correctional Queens. Highlanders Royals date exciting Maningi Youth Academy at the Highlander Sports Club as Shisha Mgweru Queens host Faith Drive at Bata Stadium. It's the battle of the cities as Harare City date Mutare City, while Rentals are inactive after their participation in the CAF Champions League COSAFA qualifiers.
And that's what we managed to hear for you in sports news this evening. It's now time for the weather.
Good evening, viewers. I hope you find you well and warm. My name is Bob Mageta, and it's time for today's weather report and forecast. For weather in brief, it was mostly cloudy over the southeastern parts of the country, and it was also windy in these areas. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy conditions are also expected over the south and eastern parts of the country, but the day after tomorrow, it should be mostly sunny throughout the country. For the cloudy conditions in detail, we're expecting these clouds to drift from the eastern parts of the country into Zimbabwe, but they are not expected to move further westwards into the country and should be limited over the western parts of the country. Now for the temperatures in detail, in our minimums, we're expecting it to be cold over the central watershed up to the eastern highlands with temperatures between 8 and 9 degrees Celsius, and the northern part of the country should be around 16 degrees Celsius, that is area over the Zambezi Valley. For the maximum temperatures, we're expecting them again to be subdued over the central watershed, with the lowest being over Harare with 24 degrees Celsius as their maximum, and the maximums over the northern part of the country, that is in the Zambezi Valley. For the forecast in detail for our major cities and resort areas, Chinhoyi should be mostly sunny but cloudy on Monday. Gwanda, mostly sunny but cloudy on Monday, as well as windy on Friday. Gweru, mostly sunny until Monday, where some clouds are expected into Tuesday, and it should be windy on Friday. In Harare, mostly sunny up to Sunday, but on Monday again, clouds are expected into Tuesday as well as on Friday. Kadoma, mostly sunny conditions, but Monday and Tuesday again should be cloudy, and Friday should be windy. For Kariba, mostly sunny conditions are expected, except for Tuesday, where some bit of clouds are expected. In Lupane, mostly sunny conditions again, except for Monday and Tuesday, as well as Friday, where it is expected to be windy. In Kwekwe, mostly sunny conditions, except for Monday and Friday should be windy. Masingo again should be mostly sunny but cloudy on Monday, and it should also be cloudy on Friday in Masingo. Matopos, mostly sunny conditions are expected, except for Monday. In Nyanga, it should be mostly cloudy for the greater part of the week, except for Sunday as well as Wednesday. Victoria Falls should be mostly sunny except for Monday. Now that is all from the Weather Day Zimbabwe. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your viewing.
Well, that caps tonight's bulletin. From the crew behind the scenes and all of us here, good night.
Good night.